Greetings, everybody. Hi, I'm Bishop Vaughn McLaughlin, and I'm the senior pastor of the Potter's House International Ministry, located right here in Jacksonville, Florida. I'm also a proud graduate of William Marion Raines High School, school number 165, Ichiban. And I'm here welcoming you tonight to the 16th Hall of Fame induction ceremony of the running of the Bob Hayes Invitational Track Meet. All right. Also, this is the 56th running of this particular track meet, and I'm here tonight with the one and only Gregory Coleman.
Bishop, thank you. I'm also a 1972 graduate of William Marion Raines High School.
Yes, sir.
You know, hurdles was my thing, and you know, this event, we overcome hurdle after hurdle after hurdle. You know, it's been a pandemic year, not being able to do some of the things that we wanted to do.
Yes, sir.
But you know what? We're moving forward with this induction of this 2021 class.
And I'm looking forward to the class. I know it's a great class, and it's going to be a great evening. And there are people that work to make this meet what it is. And tonight, we're going to acknowledge them all.
Yes, sir. And you know, Bob Hayes, there are some young millennials who may not be totally aware of Bob Hayes. So we're going to give you just a brief history lesson. Watch this video of the great Bob Hayes.
You're going to be blessed.
All eyes on Bob Hayes, fastest man in the world. Hayes went like an express train.
Faster than a speeding bullet. And that was Bob Hayes. Bullet Bob Hayes.
Bob Hayes is a football player who just happens to be the world's fastest living human.
Hayes goes down in history as a trailblazer.
Was ahead of his time, was probably that first unique burner.
Hayes had the race in his pocket the minute he left the starting blocks.
Hayes was the only athlete to win both an Olympic gold medal and a Super Bowl ring with the Dallas Cowboys.
They were a team that thought outside the box before the rest of the league even knew there was a box. They drafted Bob Hayes feeling that he could be a dynamic wide receiver, and in fact he was a wide receiver that changed the game.
Sophisticated, varied, and quick striking, he personified the Dallas offense.
A guy who looks like he could play today. He was as ahead of his time as a Jim Brown.
Hayes is the leader of football's jet set, and just about everything he catches turns into points.
Hayes was an immediate sensation. In his first 2 seasons, he led the NFL in receiving touchdowns.
You know, he was a new element to the NFL with his great speed, punt returns, kickoff returns.
Bob Hayes could play. He could break tackles, he could catch the football, and he might have been the greatest deep threat the game has ever known.
Growing up a Giants fan, you watched Bob Hayes and you feared that every single time he touched the ball that he was going, 75 yards.
Pro football has not eroded his Olympic speed. In fact, Hayes claims that every year he gets even faster.
In fact, in 1970 and 71, he led the league with an astonishing average of 25 yards per catch.
Considering those numbers and that yards per catch average, today we would be saying, greatest ever, the greatest we've ever seen.
We always talk about players who revolutionized the game. That was Bob Hayes.
He made defenses adjust. That's the thing you like about Hayes.
Called the zone defense. The zone defense was installed in football because Bullet Bob Hayes was faster than any defensive back that you could put on him, so they had to put a zone matchup on him.
And the corners played off of him so far, he basically invented the quick screen.
Now you're talking about innovation. So you're talking about speed transcending the game just between the lines, but also in the coach's minds. That goes a long way.
His speed obviously was the thing that got him into the NFL. It's the thing that made him a Hall of Famer.
Unfortunately, Hayes passed away before he was finally voted in.
I'm sorry it took so long for Bob Hayes to get in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, because there's not many players you can say changed the game when he played, and it's still played that way today.
Okay, everyone, I hope you're enjoying the evening so far. It is a blessed evening. Also, I want to share with you, when Coach Day asked me to co-chair along with Greg Coleman, I was asked for specific reasons. I know that many of you may wonder what is my connection to the Bob Hayes Invitational Track Meet. Well, I grew up in the neighborhood, right around the corner. And I remember as a little kid not being able to afford to go into the meet, standing outside with my hands on the fence and looking through the fence and hearing the announcer announce the start of a race and hearing the gun go off and watching some of the greatest athletes that Jacksonville, that the world has to offer. Man, people like Ernest Pugh and Larry Bartha, Gus Williams, our own Gus Williams from Raines High School. I remember those guys, and I remember watching these meets. But even more than that, I have two brothers that were champions in the Bob Hayes Invitational Track meet. And one of my brothers was MVP in the meet, my baby brother. And so I have not missed the meet. I don't think I've missed one in the last 30 plus years. And I'm always there in support. I've been fiscally able to support and to be a part because I'm a part of the community and I want to remain a part of that community. That community is lifted by this meet. People in our community come together. There's camaraderie, there's reunion, there's fellowship. It's a wonderful, wonderful time. It's one of the best events that the city of Jacksonville has to offer. I love it. The gala, the food, the festivities, and the best athletes in the world. Best high school athletes around come together on that day. So I love it. You'll love it too, especially if you come out and be a part of it. But right now, I'm going to turn this back over to Greg Coleman, and he's going to share with you our Community Service Award winner.
Hey, thanks, Bishop. I mean, we have some amazing award winners before we move into the next session of the program. The 2021 Bob Hayes Community Service Awards. Our first recipient is Miss Crystal D. Life. She was born in Gainesville, Florida, has an expertise in female motivation and over 26 years of federal service. Now, her signature program, her vision to be a voice of hope and possibilities for teenage girls came to life through her signature empowerment program called It's a Girl's Thing. She's a wife of a retired Navy chief and a mother of 3 beautiful children. One of her favorite quotes, and I love it, it says, "Be the person you wanted when you were a kid." Ladies and gentlemen, the 2021 Bob Hayes Community Service Award, Miss Crystal D. Life.
Thank you so much for this wonderful recognition. First of all, I would like to thank God for giving me not only the heart to serve, but also the willingness and the desire to serve. Thank you, Bob Hayes Committee, for even recognizing that which he had already purposed in me. So thank you. Thank you to my wonderful board of It's a Girl's Thing. Without you, this award would not be possible. To the community partners that allow me and my girls to come into your organizations and serve at any given time, I thank you. To the parents who have given me the opportunity to not only speak life into your children, but also to just impart words of wisdom into you, thank you. And last and definitely not least, to all of my IAGT queens, thank you and continue to shine. Thank you.
Our next recipient is Mr. Thomas A. Blue, born and raised in Webster, Florida. I know a little bit about that town. That's where my mom was born. He attended Florida Memorial in St. Augustine. They called him Baby Blue because he stood 5'9" and 128 pounds. He was the Alpha Phi Alpha Man of the Year. He served in the military, the United States Army. He attended Florida A&M University. He's a member of the Greater Mount Pleasant Missionary Baptist Church in Callahan. He's currently married to Diane H. Blue and the father of 7 children. 2021 Bob Hayes Community Service Award goes to Mr. Thomas A. Blue, Jr.
First of all, I would like to thank the Bob Hayes Committee for selecting me to receive such a prestigious award. It's an award that I never shall forget because I know what it stands for. Me being an educator for over 38 years, I had my philosophy. That philosophy was to help each boy and girl to be developed to their fullest potential and to set their goals. And no one, not anyone, could stop them from achieving their goals except themselves. Always do your best in everything that you try to do. And remember this, a winner never quits, and a quitter never wins. I would like to thank the Bob Hayes Committee for selecting me as being one of the recipients of this prestigious award. He goes beyond what words can say for me to receive this award, because I know this committee is a hard-working committee. If you only knew the background and hard work they put in the hours to put the Bob Hayes track field meet together, and to know the accomplishments from this Bob Hayes meet. Many boys and girls have been viewed while participating from universities and colleges, and some of them have received scholarships to go further. It's a great honor and tremendous responsibility. I want to say to the Bob Hayes Committee, don't let this virus stop you. Don't let other things stop you. I want you to keep that Bob Hayes torch going forever and ever and ever. No matter what happens, please remember, God's behind all of us. He knows what's going on. So don't let that light go out. Pass the torch on if you can't do it. Please let that Bob Hayes track meet ring and ring and ring forever and ever. Again, I'm very appreciative of this award. Thank you very much.
Our next recipient, Mr. David C. Boston, born and raised in Jacksonville, Florida, a graduate of Raines High School. And in 1998, he started a nonprofit for kids that were either underprivileged or dealing with substance abuse. He also formed the MacDuff Community Association for battered women and children. David is currently a community business leader, president of a thriving Florida corporation. 2021 Bob Hayes Community Service Award winner, Mr. David C. Boston.
I want to thank you for recognizing me for receiving this award, the Bob Hayes Committee. I guess this is the prime example right here of just being humble and stuff, and God will exalt you when His time is right. I always love to sit in the background and stay humble, and always pushing somebody to the front line to take care of things for me. And this, normally I try to hide behind somebody, but Coach and the rest of the family over there, the Day family over there, just getting me out of this shyness. But anyway, I want to thank God for all of it, for rewarding me openly the way He have. Thank you.
Our next recipient, Dr. Richard Danford Jr. He hails from Waycross, Georgia, and his career spans over 50 years of community service, serving in the U.S. military. He was the president of the Jacksonville Urban League. Most recently, Dr. Danford created and dedicated the La Villa Center, Wall of Honor, Service and Patriotism, a gallery wall dedicated to African-American military veterans. He currently serves on the City of Jacksonville Crimes Commission, the National Urban League's Whitney M. Young 2004 Leadership Award, and many, many more honors. It is my pleasure to present to you the 2021 Bob Hayes Community Service Award, Dr. Richard Danford Jr.
Thank you so very much for this outstanding award. I'm honored simply because I had the occasion to meet Bully Bob over 50 years ago as a freshman at Florida A&M University. I'm sitting in class, and as the teacher prepared her lesson and prepared to serve us, in walked Robert Hayes. The teacher said, "Oh, Mr. Hayes, I see you're with us again today." And we got a chuckle out of that, but that was my first encounter with Bully Bob. I want to also mention to you that Bob Hayes was a special person. I tell you, when we would go around we would go down at Florida A&M's campus on the track field to see Bob practice. And when we would have the meets at FAMU, Bob used to run that the third leg, I believe it was, of the 400. I have never seen anyone so fast in all of my life. As a matter of fact, I believe his nickname was Crow, because he could fly. He could literally fly on the ground. Following that, I had the opportunity to see Bob Hayes run in the Olympics in Tokyo. Several of the students from FAMU rented a room down at the Holiday Inn because way back then, of course, you know, everything was segregated, but we were able, by something, I don't know, but we got a room such that we could watch TV because we did not have a TV in our rooms at Florida A&M, and we were able to see Bob win the Olympics in Tokyo. And then following that, I had an opportunity, once Bob Hayes was drafted with the Dallas Cowboys, he signed that contract. And the next thing I knew, riding through the set, Bob had this Riviera. I had never seen a car like that in my life. And he had at least 8 other football players in the car. And so as he rode through campus, the mufflers were scraping the ground. I will never forget that. So I want to thank the Bob Hayes Committee for your just your longevity in terms of helping these young people through the Bob Hayes track meet and providing scholarships to youngsters. And in closing, I want to send a shout out to my mother, who is no longer with me. But once she saw Bob Hayes catch a pass with the Dallas Cowboys, she was hooked on the Cowboys. And so she took that with her to her grave. So all of my memories of Bob are fond memories, and I really appreciate this committee giving me the opportunity to just say a few words about his life and the work that you all continue to do in this community. Thank you so very much.
Our next recipient is Mr. Ken Jefferson, born and raised in Jacksonville, Florida, with a resume too numerous to mention, but a number of organizations that he is most proud of: the Prisoners of Christ Board of Directors. Also, he's the co-chair of the National Board of Directors of Operation Save Our Sons. He's retired from the Jacksonville Sheriff's Department of over 24 years. He's a member of Impact Church for over 17 years, and he and his wife, Rhonda, have 5 children and 1 grandson. 2021 Bob Hayes Community Service Award winner, Mr. Ken Jefferson.
Thank you, Greg. I am deeply honored and humbled to receive this award. Thank you, Coach Day. Thank you to the Bob Hayes Selection Committee, Awards Committee, for this prestigious honor. I thank God for giving me the opportunity to even be considered for this award. Bob Hayes was not only a local hero, but he was a national and international hero and role model to many young African-American athletes whose shoulders we stand on today from his works in the community. When I was a little kid, my favorite team at that time was the Dallas Cowboys because of Bullet Bob Hayes. On Sunday afternoon, I would relish the fact that I could sit there and watch him outrun everybody on the field. His work, the fact that he came from Jacksonville, made me even prouder. I actually lived around the corner from his mother, so he would be in the neighborhood from time to time, and we just thought we were somebody when we would see Bullet Bob Hayes in the neighborhood. We were somebody then. But Bob Hayes set the standard for African-American athletes, and he proved in Tokyo, in Jacksonville, and all over the world that you can be anything you want to be once you put your mind to it. Given an opportunity, you can be anything you want to be. I accept this Community Service Award humbly, and I will continue to do the work that Bob Hayes started out to do years ago. Thank you so much.
Our next recipient, Charles Foster Spencer. Born and raised on the east side of Jacksonville, attended Matthew W. Gilbert, Edwards Waters College. He served as the president of the International Longshoremen's Association for many, many years. A plethora of community and civic affiliations, a number of honors and awards, but one that stood out to me the Distinguished Service Award presented by Florida A&M University. He's one of the few individuals that has had 2 Charles Foster Spencer's Day, one in 2011 and the other in 1986, a proclamation given by the mayors at that time, God Bowl and Mayor Payton. He's a member of the West Side Church of Christ. He and his wife Elaine have 6 children and 9 grandchildren. He enjoys golf, bowling, and watching sports. 2021 Bob Hayes Community Service Award, Mr. Charles Foster Spencer.
Thank you, Greg, for that nice introduction. I want to say it's my good pleasure to be here on this evening and be a recipient of the Community Service Award named after Bob Hayes. You know, someone once said, can anything good come from the East Side? Well, Mr. A. Philip Randolph came from the East Side, came world renowned. Dr. Andrew Robertson came from the East Side, came world renowned. Robert Crow Bob Hayes came from the East Side. In fact, we played football together. I first met him when we went to Gilbert High School. And I was sitting there and I was thinking, I wanted to be an end, a wide receiver. The coach moved me from end to right guard for one specific purpose, to be a pulling guard. In fact, there were 2 guys, myself and a guy named Joe Lane. He played left guard. I was pretty fast, but I wasn't Bob Hayes. So the coach would have us on these sweep plays to pull out and run, and we would lead him around, and once we get around the end, then he'd go on to glory. So I always felt good and proud. When he went off to A&M, I only went to EWC. Then he went to become the world's fastest human in the world. And then after the Olympics, he became a football player. And when he went to the Dallas Cowboys, he changed football. They used to have guys that played guys. If you were a cornerback, it was a man on man. This guy was so fast, they came up with the zone defenses. Roger Staubach, who was his first coach, quarterback there, would just throw the ball. The coach said, just throw it far as you can throw it. And he'd just run the ball down. So this guy had something that many people have not had. I'm glad that I had a chance to play football with him and block for him and what have you. But I'm also proud today to be able to say that I made some contributions here by giving back to the community and assisting and being a recipient of this award. So I thank the committee for the award, and God bless all.
Bishop, those were some outstanding community service recipients. I mean, so deserving. I mean, they do so much for this community. You talk about the Bob Hayes track meet. As a participant, being a Bob Hayes champion myself, in 120-yard hurdles.
Yeah, the greatest event in track and field.
Absolutely, and you better know that.
Well, I've heard you say that for the last 50 years.
Do you believe me now?
I believe you now.
Okay.
All right.
But, you know, once Coach Day handed me the mantle and handed me the microphone, that has been 44 years ago.
Oh, wow.
You know, my last year coming out of Florida A&M, I have been the voice of the Bob Hayes track meet. I missed 1 year, that was when my daughter got married. But other than that, man, we have seen some of the greatest high school athletes in the entire world.
Yes, sir.
This year will be no exception.
That's awesome.
Let's take a quick peek at a video that will remind you of just how special this track meet is.
The sun rises in Jacksonville, Florida, as young athletes prepare for a day of competition. Some will achieve greatness, as others have. They're heroes. Heroes ignite young dreams, fire imaginations, and emulate achievement. They provide the needed direction, focus of a young person's boundless energy. For generations of young men and women, Bob Hayes is such a hero. He was an unknown athlete from Jacksonville, Florida, when he made his Olympic debut in Tokyo, Japan. The year was 1964, the beginning of a legend. In a few short seconds, Bob Hayes became one of the fastest men alive. Bullet Bob gained international acclaim and became an inspiration to young athletes, home and abroad. An inspiration that grew into the largest single-day track meet in the United States, the Bob Hayes Invitational. Over the years, it has grown from a regional track meet to an event that includes competitors from 7 states, Canada, and the Bahamas. Many Olympic hopefuls have used this event as a training ground. High school and junior high school athletes are invited from 300 schools. Over 4,000 competitors converge on the field at Raines High School. Former coach James Day has been the director of the track meet for over 30 years. He begins planning next year's event as soon as the last one ends. Working part-time, Coach Day and his assistants spend the entire year in preparation. For his accomplishments as a coach and mentor of young people, the Florida Sports Association recently honored Coach Day with a Lifetime Achievement Award.
The Bob Hayes track meet is the largest one-day track meet in the nation. It started out some 36 years ago. It was only 5 teams and about 80 athletes and about 11 officials. Now, we have over 282 officials. We have over 4,000 athletes. We have over 133 teams. This was built by the entire community volunteering their time to make it what it is today. It is the best thing that happened to this total community. We just love it.
Bishop, this is the time that we've been waiting for. It is now time to unveil our Hall of Fame inductees for 2021.
Now, that's exciting. I don't think people really understand when you say Hall of Fame, that means you've done something.
Absolutely.
That means you made an impact. That means you were something special. And this particular Hall of Fame, the 16th year, marks the year where I'm telling you, these people are special. Why? This pandemic, and it's a horrible thing that we're not able to do some of the things that we need to do, even meet and have a live ceremony together, all of us together. But let me just say this to you. This is a special class, and this class will be remembered as this class this year, but I'm waiting to hear who's inducted this year.
He was a 3-time All-American. First of all, he was a Bob Hayes champion in high school, a 3-time NCAA champion. He was a bronze medalist in the 4x4 meter relay for the country of Jamaica.
All right.
Hailing from Miami, our first 2021 Hall of Fame inductee, Davion Clark.
Hello, everyone. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to Mr. Bob Hayes and his family, rest in peace, for supporting this event and continuing the spirit of Olympianism to inspire kids to achieve their dreams of being Olympians and competing at the highest stage. Secondly, I'd like to thank all the volunteers and the people that I've come across so far, Executive Director James Day, Greg Coleman, and Mr. Pollard, for helping me get inducted into this Bob Hayes Hall of Fame. I want to congratulate as well the other 2 inductees into this year's Hall of Fame, Ray Robinson and Pam Oliver. This is a great honor for myself. Looking through the list of all the people who've been inducted, like the great John Carlos and my wife's former coach at Auburn, Harvey Clance. It's an honor to be mentioned with those names. I also like to take the time to thank my parents, Carol Clark and Errol Clark, when they moved me from Jamaica to Florida. They set me on a path and gave me the opportunity to run at the Bob Hayes Invitational and win the gold medal in the 400 and the 4x4 and won that MVP award that led me down this path to now being considered for the Hall of Fame induction. Again, like I said, I want to thank all the people that put in so many hours, the volunteers at the meet. I know this is one of the biggest one-day competitions in the world, in the United States, and it's great to have good volunteers. Having run a lot of track meets myself, I know how important you guys are to the successful staging of the event. I want to talk about my transition from running at the Bob Hayes. Like I said, I did achieve a lot when I competed there, and just 2 years after, I was on scholarship at University of Miami, and I had the opportunity to compete at the 1996 Olympics where I won a bronze medal. And, that was very inspiring for me, being at the classics, meeting the Olympian, and knowing that if I continued to work, I could reach that stage and have the same sort of success. Driving from South Florida all the way up to Jacksonville for the event was always fun for me. Seeing how the terrain changed and getting to Jacksonville and seeing how things were. Coming from Jamaica, seeing Florida and Jacksonville and Miami and Fort Lauderdale was a great experience. But not only just traveling was a great experience, but also mingling with my teammates, meeting new friends, and making connections, which I still hold close to my heart even today. Again, thanks for the induction into this Hall of Fame. I'm sorry I'm not able to attend, but I really appreciate all the gifts that I was given. My plaque and my Bob Hayes medal, and I'll definitely add them to my collection. Once again, thank you all.
Our next awardee, 2021 inductee of the Hall of Fame Bob Hayes Invitational Track and Field Meet. This next young lady participated in the 4x200 meter relay at Florida A&M University, my alma mater.
There is a FAMU connection.
Yes, it is. Yeah. You better know it. But she went on to do some great things even after she left FAMU. You have seen her on sidelines with ESPN Fox, one of the few black females to don the sidelines with a microphone.
Yes, sir.
None other than Pam Oliver, 2021 Bob Hayes Invitational Hall of Fame inductee.
Hello everyone, Pam Oliver here, and I have to start off with expressing my true and heartfelt gratitude over this wonderful opportunity to join the Bob Hayes Hall of Fame. This means the world to me, and it is just so very, very special. There are a number of people that I would like to thank because, of course, in this life, you get absolutely nowhere without the love and support of so many people. Right off the bat, I wanted to thank my wonderful track sisters from back in the day. We ran that 4x400 meter relay together, and we made some noise, and I'm so proud to be associated with all of you wonderful women. Pam Porter, Vogel Newsom, Mary Jones Wellens. Thank you, thank you, thank you for just being there and just being a part of my track sisterhood. And I treasure all of the memories that we made together, and I'm so eternally thankful to you, and to watch the women that you've become makes me very, very, very proud. And to Bobby Lang, head coach Bobby Lang, who put us through it on that track in Florida A&M back in the day. Now, Coach Lang really helped to, I think, form us in a lot of ways. He taught us determination and strength and poise, and gave us this fire, I think, to succeed. And he really set a path and showed us the pathway to be able to become successful in all aspects of our lives. He may not know that we feel this way, but I can speak for the other ladies that that is how we feel. I know that is how I feel. And I am just so eternally grateful that he came into our lives. Now to Greg Coleman, who may be surprised that I'm singling him out, but should not be, because Greg, I don't say this enough, I am so grateful for our friendship. You have been so gracious to me throughout my career. It is so wonderful to do sideline work alongside you in some of the respective games that we cover. And you are always so gracious and generous with information and helping me to navigate the waters of covering the National Football League as a profession. I will never forget that, and I am so just thankful that you chose me to be able to, help to become successful in this wonderful world of covering the NFL that we both enjoy. And to my friends and family, I just would not be sitting here without you. Your love and support and being there through the ups and downs of this life means the world to me. And I know that I would not be the same woman, the same career woman, the same God-fearing woman that I am because I have you in my life. I would not be that if you weren't in my life. So thank you for that. And to the people that made this possible, when I first got word that I was being considered and then selected into the Bob Hayes Hall of Fame, I was truly moved. This is so special for me, and it is right up there with the career highlights and the life highlights that I've had, and this means the world to me. And to my fellow inductees, congratulations to you as well. May we all just be so proud to be a member of this particular class of the Bob Hayes Hall of Fame. Thank you so much to all of you. Be safe and take good care.
Our next and final inductee was a young man that I happened to be a teammate of at Florida A&M, a young man by the name of Ray Robinson, because Bob Hayes was often called the world's fastest human.
He was.
And during Ray's tenure at Florida A&M, in Olympic trials, and during that tenure, he was also named the world's fastest human.
Oh, wow.
It gives me a great deal of pleasure to introduce our final inductee, my former teammate, Olympian, NCAA champion, and also touted as the world's fastest human, Ray Robinson.
Good evening. First, I would like to thank the Bob Hayes Hall of Fame Committee, the founders of the Bob Hayes Track Meet, and the Executive Director, Coach Day. I would also like to give a special thanks to a lifelong friend and teammate at Florida A&M, Greg Coleman. I want to express not only to myself but my family how joy we are to have this induction into the Bob Hayes Hall of Fame. We thank you. I met Bob Hayes when I was a senior in high school, and this is why this induction is so important to me. I knew Bob Hayes personally. We had a wonderful relationship. We were lifelong friends. We had a lot in common. Let me tell you a little story here. When I first met him, I met when I was 12 years old. I was outside playing. My mom called me into the house to watch TV. All the family would gather around the TV watching the 1964 Summer Olympics, the Tokyo Olympics. They were all watching the 100-meter dash. They wanted to see this Florida boy win the 100 meters, Bob Hayes. Of course, he won the 100 meters. And at that point, when I watched that race, it was so impactful to me. From that point on, 12 years old, I said I wanted to be like Bob Hayes. I wanted to be the world's fastest human. I wanted to be an Olympian. Well, fast forward, my senior year in high school, I was lucky enough to be invited to the Golden West Track and Field meet in Sacramento, California. It was considered a premier high school meet. I ran the 100-yard dash and the 220-yard dash. And I earned the honor of being the most valuable athlete, the MVP award. And lo and behold, Bob Hayes was the honorary referee at that meet, and he presented me the MVP award. It was like a dream come true. That was my first time meeting Bob Hayes, and it was unbelievable. While we were doing the ceremony, Bob began to talk to me. He congratulated me. He asked me, had I committed going to school anywhere? Where was I going to school? I told him I hadn't signed anywhere yet. And he said, I went to Florida A&M University. And I said, that'd be a perfect fit for you. I said, oh yeah. So flying back on the plane, I gave it a lot of thought. The next day at home, Coach Lane, the head track coach at Florida A&M University at the time, came to my house and he offered me a full track and field scholarship at Florida A&M. Of course, I accepted it. 2 years later, I made the 1972 Olympic team. During my freshman and sophomore year, Bob used to come in and out of Tallahassee. He would always come out to my track practice. He would talk to me, talk to Coach Lang, and try to give us some hints on how I could become a better track and field runner. He would call me from time to time, give me hints. He would follow my track meets. He was just all involved. And of course, I made the Olympic team. I actually tied the world's record in the 100-meter dash at the Olympic trials, the 72 Olympic trials. And this is why this induction is so dear to me. I became the track coach at Florida A&M in 2000, 1999, 2000 to 2009. While the head track coach at Florida A&M, Bob would call me. He would come over to Tallahassee. He would talk to my athletes, and he did this on more than 1 or 2 occasions. He was a regular. He would inspire my athletes. He would give them encouragement, and of course, they were all excited about meeting Bob Hayes. Again, this is why this induction is so dear to me. And again, I want to thank the Bob Hayes Hall of Fame Committee and everyone involved with the Bob Hayes Track and Field Meet. Thank you, and may God bless.
This next young man that I want to introduce to you is a man that I've been knowing for a long, long time. He's been a mentor, he's been a coach, and he's been like a father. He's someone that I have enormous respect for. He's the executive director, also the meet director. Nobody works harder than this young man. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach James Day.
Good evening. It's a pleasure to be here, but I have about 3 things I really need to say. Greg, first of all, let me thank you and Bishop for putting this program together. We wouldn't have gotten it without you. Secondly, I would like to congratulate the 3 people who won the award to be inducted into the Bob Hayes Hall of Fame. They paid their price not only in Jacksonville but throughout the country. And thirdly, I would like to thank the group that was selected by the Bob Hayes Committee to receive the Bob Hayes Community Service Award. This award means that you reached out not only in this community but in all communities and helped somebody. We are always saying, who did you help today? It makes you feel just that much better if you help someone every day. Fourthly, I would like to say this year we are doing a special thing on the Bob Hayes track meet, in that everybody come in the gate will be wearing a mask. So we are calling it the Face Mask Track Meet of the Year. Everybody come in will be wearing a mask, and we were doing a little distancing, staying away from everybody. You can only take your mask off when you're eating, drinking, or participating. That includes the athletics also. Greg, I appreciate what you're doing.
Well, Bishop, that does it for the 2021 induction of the Bob Hayes Invitational Hall of Fame. What a great class.
A great class, a great night, a wonderful time. And again, to hear the comments from my own Coach James Day. who is a mentor to many, a world-renowned track coach, a man who has labored and worked hard over the years, and a man who's, I guess, Greg trusted us to carry on the legacy, to preserve the integrity of this meet. It's a heavy load, and I just hope that you and I together can work together and make this happen, because we want this meet to stay in our community, and we want it to continue to do what it has done for all these years, and that's bring this community together and people from around the world to experience some of the greatest track and field in the United States of America and anywhere to be found.
Bishop, they always say that two heads and hands are better than one. So together, I'm sure that, with the help of the good Lord and Coach Day overseeing the things of what we're doing, we're going to be just fine. This Saturday morning, the trials start at 8 o'clock and the finals at 2 p.m. 125 different teams from around the country they will dawn on Jacksonville.
Did I hear that Ray was going to be there?
Ray is going to be here at the 2 o'clock intermission before the finals start. He will be here. He will address the young athletes. I mean, there was nothing like when Bob came out and talked to these kids. Same thing to see another Olympian come out and a winner, an inductee of the 2021 class of the Bob Hayes Invitational Hall of Fame.
And what a great time it has been being with you here and with all of you, and I hope you've been blessed tonight, really. And I look forward to seeing you this Saturday at the Bob Hayes Invitational Track Meet.
We want to thank all of our volunteers and officials and everyone who really makes this track meet go. Bishop, what we do is so very easy. It's like that old saying, and I know you have used this analogy before.
Yes, sir.
It's like that duck sailing smooth on the water, but underneath, he's paddling like crazy to stay afloat.
That's right.
That's what those volunteers are all about.
So the people that set the hurdles, the people that put up the tents, the people that serve the food. And by the way, I've never used that analogy before, but I understood what he meant, and I want you guys to know that all of you that work hard and all of the people that labor, everybody's special, and everybody makes this thing work.
So on behalf of Bishop Von McLaughlin, I'm Greg Coleman, and we thank you for joining us for the Bob Hayes Invitational 2021 class of the Hall of Fame. Take care, God bless you, and good night.